Following program is brought to you by blood, sweat, tears, and listeners like you. To support this show and all of the shows within TWiB Nation, consider becoming a subscriber of our pay service, The TWiBularity, at twib.me/subscribe. That's twib.me/subscribe. Or you can give a one-time donation at donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. We've all learned how important media is and who tells our stories. Help us be the media that you want to hear and that the media is afraid to hear. It's kind of hard to listen to yourself become irrelevant.
You are now listening to TWiB FM. Real talk, real awesome.
Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, September 2nd, and today on TWiB Prime, we are back and you will fucking deal. We'll also talk about some stuff. Racism, police brutality, shenanigans, tomfoolery, etc. All this and more with Team Blackness on TWiB Prime.
So from now on, whenever you hear these horns, just know you are now entering the blackness. Collard greens, cornbread, and the catfish. Malcolm X and Dr. King with a black fist. We are live, son. This is blackness. You are now entering the blackness. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the classics. Real love, the opposite of ratchet. We are live, son. This is blackness. When they hear me, they say,
what is going on, people? We are back. This is This Week in Blackness Prime. I am your host, Elon James White. With me, as per usual, is Team Blackness, consisting of Captain, Lieutenant, General, Professor. On occasion, he is some sort of doctor. He is the Negro Jon Snow in our Negro Game of Thrones. We have Aaron Rand Freeman. Sir.
We're back. And it's fantastic. It's wonderful. And happy holidays. And yeah. Yay.
Really? That's all you're going to give me?
Right, I tried.
That's all you're gonna get me. We are back. We are back right before we have to go away again, because apparently Monday's a holiday, and I didn't know that when I scheduled this particular break, because I thought it was the holiday this past Monday. And I didn't
There's not a holiday Monday?
Apparently there's a holiday Monday. I think it's some sort of thing. Labor Day? Is it? I think it's Labor Day.
Oh, I thought Labor Day. Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Fine.
Exactly. We don't. That was a mistake.
Tuesday, guys.
No, but we'll be here today, tomorrow, and Friday, because that's what we said. Of course, I'm expecting Aaron and Monty to be like, "What are we talking about? We're going to be here Friday." I expect that, but I hope that they actually were paying attention. Also with me, she's angry, she's black, she's some sort of lady. She's the founder of the Angry Black Lady Chronicles. She is the senior lead legal analyst here in TWiB Nation. She's the gun jumper in chief, and overall problem and a half. We have Imani Gandhi, madam.
Y'all are some know-nothing Negroes.
Why are you
It's Labor Day on Monday. How do you not know that?
I can tell you easily, ma'am, because I don't pay attention to holidays.
Yeah, that's what happens when you work independent media. You're on all the time.
Thank you, Aaron. That's a problem, because when you have a holiday, like the idea of holidays, like, do you understand how many times I've been already scheduling what we are doing next, and someone is like, and Tom's are like, so you know that, like, normally this would be a holiday for other people. It's Christmas. I'm like, oh, what? Oh, do you guys want the day off? Like, I have to ask.
That's the thing. I remember when we first started, we would get a massive turnout when we put on shows during the holidays. People had the barbecues out. They were sitting there laying in bed, taking that bubble bath, listening to us in the middle of the afternoon.
That's actually true.
We got massive chat room turnouts when we used to go on during the holidays.
That's true.
I ain't working on no holidays.
And that's the problem, as we matured, our staff matured. And a mature staff goes, I'm not working on no damn Labor Day. You hear me?
That's literally what you're doing, Imani.
Yeah, it is.
You literally screamed out, I ain't working on no damn holiday.
I ain't.
That's rude.
You're rude. Trying to make me work on a damn holiday. What's up with that?
What? I mean, because
yeah,
we have things to do and stuff and other things and stuff. So no. And by the way, I just saw someone just ask, does my hat affect the effing economy? It does not. My hat does not count as one of my Fs because I am not saying it. I'm not reading my hat. The effing economy only works when someone says it. So Imani is already down one because she added it in the opening upfront. But if her shirt said "F you," it wouldn't count.
Somebody give me a pen.
Sense? First of all, no, madam, don't do that. Why would you do that?
Depends. I can write it on a Post-it note. And just put it
that
here.
would be weird, and that also would be drawing attention to your boobs. Yeah. Really, Monty? Is that?
I can't help it. It's what God gave me.
But you just started humping at the screen.
And they're marvelous.
Okay. All right. Well, This is pay-per-view. Can we get extra money for this? If Amani just gonna start thrusting
topless TWiB.
Like Aaron, listen, you and Aaron can do that. I will be wearing I don't know what I'm wearing.
Are we both being topless? Because I would do it if Amani does it. We can both do it. Okay. Just leave it. Matter of fact, that would spare you a lot of programming time. Actually, you just be able to put us on. It would be like automated boobs and
automated boobs. That's what.
Automated nudity. Automated nudity.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop these shenanigans and tomfoolery, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, Amani, do we have any reminders?"
Oh, we do have some reminders.
Excellent.
Reminders.
They better not have anything to do with your boobs.
Reminders. I have boobs.
A good boob.
Boobs. Breastises. Chesticles. Also, besides my boobs, other important information, you should subscribe to the Tribularity. If you have not done so, I don't know why you're not doing so. It seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do. You get a bunch of extra shows and stuff, other things, stickers, maybe some scratch and sniff stickers. Can we get him some scratch and sniff stickers, Elon? For subscribing to the Tribularity? I feel like maybe we ought to look into that.
Stickers.
Remember?
Why do we need stickers?
Because girls used to collect stickers back in the day.
First of all, I will not go along with some random gendered type of nonsense. Girls and boys collected stickers, and that's not really the point, though. So why are you bringing that up, lady? Are you trying to push some sort of patriarchal, system down on people with your damn stickers?
Yes, I am. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well then.
Yeah, spread that patriarchy around. Just spread it around real nice like. Yeah, but if you don't have the money to subscribe to the Tribularity, because we get it. Some of y'all are broke. You ain't got the money. But maybe you want to just donate to our regular, just give us money fund. You can go to donate.twib.me. That's donate.twib.me. Do that. Also, if you have no money whatsoever, like not for Tribularity, not for donations, but you shop on Amazon perhaps, you can go to amazon.twib.me. Then you can just shop normally as you would. We get a little bit of money. You don't have to do anything extraordinary. And boom, you're supporting independent Black media. Ain't that nice? Yes, it is. Also, you should help us get the word out about TWiB Nation. Tell your friends. Donate your account. twib.me/DYA. We will take over your Twitter account and your Facebook account and post a little status update or a tweet.
Could you not say take over?
We will take it over like Skynet.
We're not taking.
And we're just going to fill up your wall with videos of me twerking.
That's not.
And pictures of my boobs.
Amani doesn't know how to twerk. Like let's all.
That's not true. Dara taught me.
Yes, and
Dara taught me.
I was there for that lesson, and
it was good. She said I was pretty good, and if Dara says I was pretty good, I'm gonna believe Dara because I believe in Dara, and Dara believes in me.
Well, Dara was just trying to make you feel better about.
No, Dara don't lie. Dara don't front like that.
But
Dara keeps it real.
Does she storm hella up? Like,
she throws them up. Yeah.
Hella
up. Like what?
Yeah, no, that's Dara. I was yes, that actually happened in my kitchen. Dara trying to show Amani how to twerk, and then both trying to and Robin was just like, I don't know what's going on right now. She's just like staring at that, and those two trying to like twerk in the kitchen. And Amani's hilarious because also Amani tries to. It looks way too happy while she's twerking. Like you're supposed to look like I am doing this movement with confidence and vigor. And Amani's like, ha ha! That's twerking, right? That's how we twerk, right? What? Throw him up! Hella up! And I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing like that. This is whatever you're doing, I need you to stop. But you can continue, madam.
I find joy in twerking, and I don't see any problem with that. So there. What other reminders do we have? Donate your account, Tribularity, Amazon.twib.me. Oh, fucks.twib.me. If you would like to purchase some fucks for us to contribute to the fucks economy, you should fucking donate some fucking fucks.
Okay, so you're abusing that. You're abusing that. You just abused that hella.
I hella abused it?
You hella abuse that, madam.
Well,
you're not supposed to just say that randomly. You're only supposed to use it for like when it's like supposed to be used. Like
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like you're just making up rules.
I'm not.
You're trying to put me in a box.
Your face is making up rules.
My face is not making up rules. My face is trying to live outside the box. You're trying to put me in a box. That is patriarchy. I don't understand it. I don't see you trying to put Aaron in a box. Why? Because he's a man. He's a black man. But no, me, I'm a black woman. I ain't in your box.
If Aaron starts talking about how he wants to hella throw him up and twerk on here, then I will put him in a box as well.
The trick is to receive private twerk lessons, which I am doing. And then to just debut it. It's about just don't worry about what Elon tells you about your ability to twerk. Just twerk as you see fit. You have to go over his head. It's not about Elon.
I'm not saying that she can't twerk. What do you mean? I wasn't saying
that was the first thing you said.
I said you can't twerk. I didn't say you. I didn't say like understand it. It's not like Amani, you can't twerk. it was like, Amani, you can't twerk. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Right,
it's not like those are two different things. It's like
I understand both of them. I reject both of your statements.
One is a decree. One is saying, Amani, you shall not be allowed to twerk under these circumstances. The other one's like, Amani, you can't. Like,
I reject. Your statements, everything you stand for, your hat, your shoes, this whole studio.
I believe in you, Amani. I believe that one day you'll be able to independently move both ass cheeks in different directions.
I don't know about that.
And right now you're just starting on square one, and that's all that matters. Is that you're starting, and you're starting from somewhere, and Dara cares enough about you to really help you with the process.
Exactly, because Dara.
I believe in you. I'm excited. I'm excited for the results, Amani.
All right.
Are we done with your? I don't know. What was that? A pep talk? I don't know what was happening. Are we done with that? Are we good?
Trying to make me feel better.
I mean, we have been gone from the air for like a week and
Look,
change.
son, I am done with the reminder. So why don't you stop trying to put me in a box and start the goddamn show?
What box am I putting you in? I'm asking
the
questions.
patriarchy box.
So you're the one that saying talk about girls collecting stickers and stuff like that.
Sometimes girls collect stickers.
Captain's log, start date. Aaron, what day is it?
September 2nd.
September 2nd. Dear future child who I do not have yet, do not allow Amani to put you in a box.
I'm not going to put no kid in no box.
Gendered stereotype. You, if you want stickers, child, you can play with stickers.
Captain's log, whatever today is. To Elon's child that he does not have yet. I will never put you in a box.
How are you out captain? It's my captain's log to my child. I am the captain.
Angry black lady's log.
There is no such thing.
There is. I just made it up.
Matt. Okay,
right.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to whatever kid you're gonna have sometime in the future.
You're gonna start a log
for your kid.
My kid.
Yeah,
that is rude.
Well, no, it ain't.
That is
your kid's gonna need a role model.
What more positive role model than the woman who went from nothing to being able to rotate both ass cheeks?
She can't do that. She can't even do that yet.
By the time whatever kid comes that you're having in the future, you're damn right I'm gonna be able to do that.
Here's whatever. It doesn't matter. She's starting now. This is the point. Believe in the process.
Believe in the process, Elon. Let the process work.
You know
Stop
what?
gumming up the works.
You know what? Hold on. I need to fix this. We're starting from scratch. Oh, wait.
So from now on,
it's not gonna make it better.
What?
It's not gonna make it any better.
All right. What is? Are you done?
I'm done.
Have you made whatever points you plan to make?
I am done. I feel like I've been heard. I am outside the box, and America gets me.
First of all, you're a black woman. America doesn't get you.
That's true. Good point.
Like, let's always be clear on that.
That is true.
Check back in like 30 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe after they go through some lessons, maybe after we get like our second black woman president.
Good point.
I mean, by the way, have you heard of the calls for Michelle Obama to run for 2016?
I think she should.
I don't think she should in any shape, form, or fashion. And it's not because I think she would be a bad
I think she
president.
should run, she should win, and then she should appoint President Obama to the Supreme Court.
That would be rude.
That would not be rude. It would be fantastic. It's happened
God.
before. Taft. Hello.
If you're talking about people talking about the Obama dictatorship, Michelle Obama
it would be fantastic.
Obama on the Supreme Court. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They would just be like, the Negroes are just trying to take over everything.
Hey.
Everything.
Look, Clarence Thomas needs another black man on the court because he's kind of fucking up.
Okay, that was two.
Put PBO on there. Get some shit done. That's what I'm saying.
Well, thank you for your advice. I think that it's interesting, the idea, because I don't think Michelle Obama would be a great president. I think it's that Michelle Obama has no, like, the amount of F's that she has, like the effing economy here on TWiB Nation, we all get 3 per show. Like, the president doesn't get any. The president just, like, if one slips out, it's like a thing. And so, like, I feel like we would have to make sure that Michelle Obama had an effing economy as well. Like, because she would just, like, literally just going, like,
what the fuck, America?
You're 3, and see, Amani's done.
Whatever. I don't live by your rules. I have them banked from, like, however many shows we didn't do last week, right?
We don't roll over.
I'm rolling.
We don't have.
You don't own me. You don't own me. I'm my own person.
Aaron, could you talk to your friend Amani Gandy? Because I'm assuming she's practicing not listening to me now. Because so when we actually are married and on the mountain, she'll be like, "I ain't been listening to you for decades."
Do that.
You think I'm gonna start listening now? Nope. Like, that's what I feel like she's doing this. Aaron, could you talk to her?
Amani.
Aaron,
why don't you listen to Elon?
Why should I have to?
That's a terrible answer. I feel like it's just ingrained in her to not listen. She has no. Why don't you listen to Elon? What happened?
I'll listen selectively.
I've never heard you listen to Elon.
Sometimes.
Elon has freaked out, and to get him to stop freaking out, you have stopped doing the thing you were doing.
Yeah.
So he just, I believe it's just so that you don't have to hear him freaking out.
That might be right.
Just because you don't feel tired of hearing him squawk, and then
That
you
could be
do wind
valid.
up doing what you're doing. It's just kind of like this is kind of like a coincidence that you've stopped and listened to him.
Elon, I respect you as a human being,
Do we have something
as a
that
hat wearer,
I don't believe
as an
anything that you're
American,
saying. You're literally saying
as a
words that
future
don't make
mountain
sense.
man.
I think
First
she's
of all,
just.
I'm not going to be a mountain man. Like I'm just
Yeah,
going
you
to be
are.
on a mountain. That's not the same as being a mountain
You're a
man.
grizzly
makes you a
man.
mountain guy.
Grow a big beard and just start like attacking bears. Wear a bear. Wear like a bear head on your as a hat. That's what
Would you know how to? Would you chop wood?
No.
Do you even know how to chop wood?
I mean, in theory.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Then you'd be a mountain dude.
Yeah.
In theory,
Black
I
Paul
understand.
Bunyan.
That's not
The only other people that would really question this are legit mountain people. And they
You
wouldn't
wanna
be
stay away
too
from
busy
them.
laying on their own mountains to be like, man, what's going on in Quadrant C? Mr. White, he's a lie, he's a fraud. No, it doesn't matter. They're all in their own mountains, being mountain dudes.
I'm actually not sure. I've actually changed my mind, Aaron. I'm not sure I'm going to go to a mountain. A mountain would work for my getting away from all of you people, and I mean you people. But
That's racist.
no, you don't know what I mean by you people. I mean you people, but you don't know who people I mean. Because Emily, every time I say you people, Emily assumes I'm talking about Jews. Like who do you think I'm talking about, Imani?
Me.
Like, hey, you know what?
Everybody
I mean
else.
you people. I mean you as a Imani people.
You
yes.
person. Yeah.
But I decided that like I could also go for like a coastal town. Like this weekend, I was with the family and we did a drive down the coast, down to LA. And there was lots of little small towns or whatever. I feel like I might be able to live in. I mean, I'm not sure like what the racism level is. Like, I feel like if I would love to do this, and I needed someone to give me the money. Like, I would love to start going around the country and like create a Negro's almanac. Where like I just tell you like on a scale from like 1 to hell nah, like where you should live like as a Negro, and then you go like this town is actually really great, except for the fact that they really like Confederate flags and they'll be upset if you say so, and they'll like just like be able to give. I would love to create the Negro's almanac to where to live in America. I feel like I bet you I could crowdsource that.
Probably a Negro's travel guide or something.
Well,
something
not
like that.
Negro's travel guide per se, but you know what I mean. All right. I think it's like you know what, now that I have this idea, I'm like, oh, I should do this. How much money do I have to do this? And just give a rating, because I would love to know places I can go live. That would make me very happy if I can go like, I don't want to live in a big city. I want to live somewhere like quiet and pretty or something like that. Like I want a mountain near me and a lake. Where can I live with a mountain and a lake and that's friendly to Negroes? Because you'd be surprised how hard that is to find.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Amani, all right, so you finished. Have you finished your reminder?
I finished them like 10 minutes ago.
I don't know what you finished.
Mm-hmm.
You finished. You say you finished, and I don't know what you finished.
I'm finished.
All right, fine. Do you want to do these? Do you want to hit a docket of some sort?
I suppose.
I mean, you can do that, man. Like, let people know what's happening in the news today, madam.
Well, today was the first day of proceedings in the Freddy Gray trial. Excuse me. A Baltimore judge ruled that there will be separate trials for each of the 6 police officers charged in connection with the Freddy Gray killing. The prosecutors had wanted to try them all as a group. Defense counsel was successful in saying, nah, son, try them separately. But they did lose their motions to dismiss the case. And also, there were 2 motions that they lost. One was seeking dismissal for prosecutorial misconduct, and another calling for Marilyn Mosby, the prosecutor, to recuse herself. You may recall that the police were none too happy with the way that Marilyn Mosby announced that she would be pursuing this case, that she would be involved in this case. They believed that she essentially was a bit too black for her to be handling this case, even though she comes from a family of police officers. So trying to say that she's prejudiced or she has some sort of anti-police officer bias wasn't really going to fly.
Actually, what's really funny about that, Monty, is that when she was announced, there was worry because of her police connections that she was going to be like too easy and just go along with it, and that we'd actually have an issue. And then she came out there and she like she literally gave her a talk about it, dropped the mic, walked away, and then immediately was like, "You're a problem. Yeah, you shouldn't be here, lady." And you're like, nah, that's not how that's gonna work. Sorry.
Yeah. Some of the attorneys were trying to claim that she had been reckless and unprofessional, even by pressing for convictions in this case. Doing her job made her reckless and unprofessional. They said that, that it was problematic that she gave that I guess they thought that she'd like thrown like a Black Lives Matter rally and announced her decision to move forward in the case in connection with that. It was just a press conference with a lot of black people there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not know this? At any point in time when Negroes speak out publicly, it is in fact a Black Lives Matter rally.
Good point. I
At
forgot
any
about
point in
that.
time, like yesterday, I went to order a burger. And people started like lining up behind me going, no justice, no peace, no racist police. That's what immediately started to happen. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like
it's just how it works.
It's either a rally or a riot.
Yeah, I saw someone in the street and I gave them a handshake, and immediately like cops started putting yellow tape around us and telling us that we had to keep it moving. But is that weird? Does that not happen to every other Negro? I assume that this is just the norm.
Not so much. Yeah, so that happened. It's going to be interesting. There were demonstrations and rallies in Baltimore. I think, was it just yesterday that they started? I believe it was just yesterday. I believe one person got arrested. Baltimore police, they're just, you get a bunch of black people who want some justice, who want some peace, and Baltimore police are just going to come in and crack down and act like assholes. That seems to be their MO. So what you going to do?
I feel like I'm going to say that's not, you can't just say what you're going to do. I feel like there's more to that, Imani.
Well, I mean, you can do stuff.
Like what?
Well, like ask them not to be nicer. Ask them to stop, tear gassing people.
And
this is actually a good segue.
Oh my God, a segue?
Segue.
Bring it, Imani.
A segue into Campaign Zero, which we did not get a chance to talk about.
No.
Campaign Zero was launched by We the Protesters, which is not officially affiliated with Black Lives Matter, the organization, although they are supporters of the Black Lives Matter movement. But of course, anyone who's black is automatically a principal in the Black Lives Matter, organization per se.
Actually, Amani, did you know this? Like, I was at a bar actually 2 nights ago when I was in LA, and I ordered, for the first time I didn't know this, it was a beer called Allagash Black. Mm-hmm. And when I ordered this, that was actually made me part of the Black Lives Matter board of directors.
Oh, wow.
Just by ordering a drink with black in it.
Interesting.
If you order your coffee black, you can start a local chapter of the Black Lives Matter movement. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
I mean, Lonnie, listen, that's why people...
The rules change,
That's why people tune into us, Lonnie. They want the facts.
They do. Hard-hitting facts.
Hard-hitting facts. We haven't been here a while, and people are like, hey, where are we going to get the truth and facts and realness from? Surprise! We back, motherfuckers!
That's one.
That's one.
So, and this Campaign Zero actually comes at a perfect time, especially in the wake of all the Bernie Sanders shenanigans and people complaining that Black Lives Matter doesn't have a particular message. There have been a lot of articles written by both black and white folks claiming that Black Lives Matter is disorganized. What do they want? All they seem to be doing is just showing up at rallies and just interrupting people, yada, yada, yada. And then, Campaign Zero drops this, or We the Protesters drops this list of policies that they have they've split up into 10 categories.
Which, by the way, Amani, that I saw specifically people saying Black Lives Matter released a platform.
Oh, not that We the Protesters did?
Right. Like they specifically said Black Lives Matter finally releases a platform. And I was like, it's still not Black Lives. Just understand there's multiple black people.
Yeah.
And multiple black groups.
Yeah.
And everyone wants, what I think people are confused by is that, like, the one thing that is very, very clear, and I want to be clear on this, we all don't want to die in the streets.
Right. That's the unifying factor.
That's what we really, really don't want to die in the streets. And people are working together and they're doing all types of things. But that is what it is. We're all black, but we're not. It's not the same thing. It's like Black Lives Matter will do one thing. It's just different. And just acknowledge who you're talking to. I cannot say, man, I'm really, really digging this whole Rosalind Brock commentary with the Urban League, because she does not work with the Urban League.
What Elon said.
Because it's so annoying, Amani. I don't get why it's so hard to acknowledge that Negroes work in different spaces and that we all don't always agree, and that we all don't work together at that same moment, that people have different groups and they have different methods and ideologies and ways to do this, as we have had for generations.
Yeah, that's true. But I do want to go over these 10.
Do you want to go over it?
Do you want me to handle this docket, to talk about issues, or you want to act a fool?
6 and 1. What do you got, man?
So one of the things they want to do is end broken windows policing. It's the style of policing that goes after minor crimes and activities based on the notion that if you let minor crimes go, then you're going to be fostering some sense of, you're going to be fostering even worse crimes in the community. This leads to over policing. This leads to policing of shit like, you know, possession of a small amount of marijuana, or, you know, disturbing the peace, loitering, trespassing, all that kind of nonsense. 2, they want more community oversight. They think that the communities in which police are present should be more involved in the policing of the community, to do things like establish civilian-run commissions that will help the police department set policies in order to make recommendations, for example, when a civilian files a complaint against the police. 3, they would like to limit the use of force. Currently, police officers are allowed to use deadly force when they merely perceive a deadly threat, even if that threat is not present. So, for example, you get cops like the 2 cops in Olympia, Washington, who shot a couple of unarmed teenagers and are claiming that the skateboard that one of the kids held was a weapon, because they were walking with their skateboards. Cop said, he approached me and he looked like he was going to hit me over the head with the skateboard. So then they shot him like 5 times in the back. I mean, maybe don't do that so much. Maybe wait until there's actually like an imminent threat, because I feel like if you're a cop, there's certain things you can do when you think someone's approaching you with a skateboard and is going to try and hit you over the head with it. Like, I don't know, restrain them, tase them, not a bunch of times, not tase them so much that they die. But, you know, I don't feel like you need to shoot them 5 times in the back. But that's just me.
If you really need to deal with them, Amani, you might have to do that. I feel like, you might actually have to have that conversation and say, hey, you're using a childhood toy. I'm in danger.
That's so lazy. Wow. I'm actually taken aback. I almost expected the cop to say he thought the skateboard was going to produce a gun.
Well, have you not heard about the killer skateboards of Madison County?
I thought there was like, you know, kids have the handgun. They had the little 38 taped under the skateboard just in case shit pops off somewhere, you know, I guess. So I thought they were going to say something like that. Like, you know, talk about the rash of skateboard-related gun violence or something that the cops make up when they're put in the corner. I didn't know they're just going to be like, yeah, he's going to swing it, so I shot him.
But Aaron, you should know this. Like we've talked about this a lot, about what constitutes fear and why that's such a problematic thing. Because like a lot of times in these cases, all they have to do is be able to prove that the person at that moment was afraid for their life, and then they can get to kill people, and they don't have to worry about it. And so it just so happens that our skin color changes the fear factor for people a lot. And God forbid we have a tone or something like that, then clearly we're going to eat their babies, so they get to murder us in the street.
But why? But like, I don't know many civilians that are deathly scared of being hit with a skateboard in practice. So like now we have police who are actually more fearful, armed authority figures who are more terrified of what they're claiming is reason to shoot someone than regular civilians. There's no regular civilian. If you came at a regular person with a skateboard, I mean, they would be astonished because they wouldn't just be such a weird thing to attack them with. They wouldn't be ready to kill you.
I mean, I'd be a little bit weirded out if someone came at me with a skateboard. Actually, a lot of people have come to me with a skateboard. It's fun. Another thing, when I was in LA, I was, like I said, with the family, the White family, and I know that sounded like White family, which, by the way, kind of the same. What? The white family, yes. So clearly, my wife has white relations because of her whiteness herself,
and white relations because of her relations with you. Am I right? Am I right, America?
The relations that we going on there, yeah. So what had happened was we were in Silver Lake, Los Angeles, and Silver Lake is just a big hipster spot, right? But like when we first got to where we were staying, like it was nighttime, and it was like it was a bit gritty, like for what I saw there. There was like just overturned like mattresses in the street, and people were like, there was like someone who was clearly high and like on meth, like in the parking spot that we were supposed to be using. That was like the Airbnb had said, like, this is your parking spot. It's reserved for you. And there was someone just on the phone, and they were like, yeah, no. And I was like, why? What does it? I live in North Berkeley, sir. I don't understand this is happening. This is all the stuff. And one of my brother-in-law was like, what are you talking about? It's just like a bunch of like white dudes. So far, I see like a lot of white dudes with like full-on tats like on their necks and arms. So it's not that crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry, that terrifies me.
Yeah.
I'm like, right. I don't know about you. Like white dudes heavily tattooed, just walking down the street, looking a little bit too hard. Nope. I'm good with that. Amanda, you want that? Because I don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it.
I will cross the street some heavily tatted up like white dudes, and like especially if they have like a really short haircut or whatever, and some of them have like some really wacky beards, and they have the new thing, man buns. What the fuck is a man bun? Why? It's when dudes have long hair and they put a bun on it. It's like mostly white dudes that do it. And I'm like,
no. It's not when they have long hair. It seems as though when they have enough hair to these weird. The struggle bun is what bugs me.
Struggle bun.
If you have a lot of dirty hair and you want to put it up into a bun because when you put it in dreadlocks, all the black people glower at you. I get it. So you do something. It's like sort of interesting and kind of ethnic. Whatever. I get it. But when they have, you ever seen the guys with like 4 inches, like got like this little thing, and they just got like a little Raggedy Ann thing on the top of their head, like a doll.
I actually did see that, and I thought it was weird, but I saw like all manners of man bun while I was in LA, and I'm just like, this is something I'm not good with.
Yeah. It's here too. It's
a hipster thing. Like clearly like that's what's like hipsters like, you know. I'm sure San Francisco must be covered in man buns, like just beards and man buns or whatever. I'm just like, I need all of y'all to stop whatever the bullshit y'all are doing right now. We are anti man bun here in TWiB Nation. Can we have a vote real fast? Amani, pro or con man bun?
No man buns.
Aaron, pro or con man bun?
I'm radical. I'm pro civilian policing of it. If you are, cut it off.
Aaron, you can't just have people running around cutting off people's man buns.
You can. Yes, you can. Man buns are a scourge.
No man buns.
I don't like the beard thing, but people have fun with it, and it's like, you know, a thing. I get it, but that looks gross. But now you have like the brackets. It's like the complete set of just dirty appearance, and I don't want to have it no more. At some point, we got to draw the line. The beards are fine. You can style them. What the hell are you going to do with a man bun? What is it? They're all the same. Some of them just look worse, or some of them just look. Some of them look less pitiful than the next. That's it. At least beards can be styled. They have beard contests, and people have them out, and they look like Vikings, and it's kind of cool. Man buns look horrible on just varying scales, but they never get out of horrible. So civilians should be allowed to just cut it right off. Just.
Monty?
I think that's kind of assault. So as the lawyer for this team, I have to strongly advise against just going up and cutting someone's man bun off. Struggle bun or no?
I said I was radical. I didn't say I was a senator.
All right. Well, you go be radical.
Can you, Aaron? Can you not speak on this as a member of TWiB Nation? Like, can you say this like, as strictly as like random Aaron Rand Freeman walking down a random street of random road, random USA?
You want me to just like assume an alias, and I can just like put on?
You can say like as Angry Negro McGee. You can totally say all that stuff you want. You can but we cannot be the ones that are telling people to cut off people's struggle buns. Please note. They should get rid of. I mean, those buns. Like the whole time, like Emily was just doing a contest. Like she would just like point them out and like count them. It was really weird.
Yeah, white people, they do some funny things with their hair.
And I know white people are sitting there going like, "What? You guys do the stuff. We're just."
Also, so moving on, number 4, we're talking about the Campaign Zero policies that they've set forth. They would like to independently investigate and prosecute after police shootings, because now police shootings investigations are headed by local police departments and the local prosecutor's office, which has close ties to the police departments. And as we have seen, that usually leads to bupkis. So Campaign Zero has proposed that all investigations after police shootings be handled by the federal civil rights, whatever organization, Department of Justice, yada, yada, yada. Get it out of the state's hands. 5, community representation. Remember in Ferguson, about 2/3 of the town is black, but there were only 3 of 53 officers that were black. So what Campaign Zero wants to do is to do some sort of outreach and recruitment so that police departments can recruit people of color, so that the actual police department sort of reflects the ethnic diversity of the town in which they are policing. Seems reasonable. Body cameras and filming the police. That's something that has already started in police departments around the country, but Campaign Zero would like to see that across the board. Training. A lot of police departments only require training on an annual or even a one-time basis. And so Campaign Zero proposes that there be more opportunities for police to do training on things like use of force, de-escalation, racial bias, how to handle people with mental illness, prejudices against LGBTQ people, that sort of thing, so that, you know, police officers are keeping up with the times. 8, and for-profit policing. We saw in Ferguson that basically they were making money through issuing fines and fees, traffic tickets and whatnot. They were raising revenue for the town through over-policing of small traffic infractions and things like that. And that sort of shit has got to stop. And number 9, demilitarization. That means stop deploying sniper rifles, riot gear, camouflage, armor trucks, chemical agents, and all of that shit against largely peaceful demonstrators. The federal government needs to stop supplying police departments with shit that they should really be using in like wars, not when they're policing communities. And 10, fairer police contracts. Police unions have been able to negotiate really strong contracts for their officers, which impose really big hurdles to investigations. For example, there's a 48-hour rule, which for some reason prevents investigators from talking to an officer that has been involved in a shooting until 48 hours passes. Now that makes no sense, because it seems to me that just gives the cop 48 more hours to get a story together, gives the police department 48 hours to make sure all their ducks are in a row. And often, as we have seen, their ducks are bullshit. So just, you know, these are some things that we, the protesters, have put forth. And these are some things that I'm sure many Black Lives Matter activists who are not principals in the organization also support. And just generally, I think just the complaint. Wait,
you're telling me that the Black Lives Matter people, they don't run this?
No, they don't run this, but they very well may support some of these things. I don't know. You will have to ask them.
A lot of people
exactly.
Would. The question is just like, it's not even a question about whether or not they would. Of course, a lot of people would support a lot of those things, but at the same time, like, just understand, just label them.
Right.
Just like, you know, when I look at Armani and I go, man, you know who's really great? Karen from The Black Guy Who Tips.
Well, did you see today, Pia Glenn, who has written for us in the past? She's a friend of TWiB Nation. She apparently was photographed with Celine Dion and Perez Hilton. And I think a Celine Dion fan Twitter account tweeted it out as Perez Hilton, Celine Dion, and Omarosa, who is that woman from The Apprentice from several years ago. And I looked at that, I was like, but that's Pia, and Pia doesn't even look like Omarosa.
Oh no.
Yeah. So there is a thing where white folks tend to think that Black people all look alike.
Oh no.
It happens all the time during award season too. They'll be like, oh look, it's a what's her face? You know, Viola Davis, when it's really like Octavia Spencer or something. I mean, it's just, get it together, white folks.
It's not. I just think, I don't think they actually like think we look like the people look like each other. But you're Black, you're saying stuff. We know the Black people who say stuff. The Black people who are saying stuff are those people over there. So then, boom, there we got you.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is the problem, and that's what I'm a little bit annoyed by. And it's like, it was one of the reasons why I used to get so annoyed at Netroots Nation, because every year, except the last 2 years, it finally stopped. But like 3 or 4 years in a row, and I think it only stopped because Baratunde stopped coming. But Baratunde would come, and no matter what, I would get Paul Baratunde, no matter what. I would be hosting the keynote. They would introduce Elon James White. I say my name. I'm upset sometimes. And people would tweet out, man, Baratunde is funny. And one time there was actually a story that is a little bit legend within the internal TWiB, and we've told it. Monica Brooks, the first sponsor of TWiB Nation, was there for this particular one. I think this was like 3 years ago, Monty, where we were at a party and this woman comes to the party and she looks at me and she goes, "Hey, I know you." I'm like, "Oh, hi. This is the TWiB party. Hi, Elon James White. Nice to meet you." And she goes, "Yeah, but you go by a different name, right? You go by something else, right?" I go, I mean, sometimes I go by Baratunde Thurston, but I mean, that's it. So she goes, "Exactly, yes!" And I look at her, I'm just like, "Really, lady?" And I think I'm just staring at her, just like, yeah. And she goes silent, and she looks at me, and I look at her, just like, we're literally just staring at each other with this face. It's like, and she goes, "So what's up with that? Going by the whole different name thing, whatever." And I look at her and go like, "It's because I'm an entirely different human being." And she goes, "Oh, well, this is awkward."
You think?
I said, "Yeah, why don't you go drink?" And that was the end of that conversation. And the thing is, like Monica is there, and Monica had heard me say this before. She's like, "It's happening, it's happening." Like, she couldn't imagine this was actually it happens. And I don't know why. I really want to start just like walking up to random white people and just like confusing them with other people, even though I know who they are. That's what I want to do. It would make my day. Maybe when I go on my Safe Negro City tour, I'll also do that. Just walk up to random white people and just call them something different.
Why not?
Let's see if I can go see Lindsey Graham and I'll call him, I don't know, Frank Underwood. Like, hey, Frank Underwood. You're like, that he's not even real.
But he's from South Carolina.
What else is on the docket, madam?
So there is a Deputy Darren Goforth, who was shot by a man who has since been found to have been mentally incompetent, a black man. And this has gotten a lot of people all riled up when it comes to Black Lives Matter. And it seems as if there have been some talking points that have been, I don't know, issued from on high, the Republicans, the conservatives, whatever, because all of a sudden now apparently Black Lives Matter is responsible for this one black guy who ostensibly who at least demonstrably has had no ties or connections to Black Lives Matter at all. Like, they've not been able to find anything where he's even supported Black Lives Matter. But of course this means because this one black guy shot this one cop, it's because of all the anti-police rhetoric that Black Lives Matter traffics in and all of the anti-white sentiment. And so now you've got people on Fox News, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, who are now just outright saying that Black Lives Matter is a hate group or a terrorist organization and should be treated as such.
Do they know that that's actually, and I don't like to use it that often, but they do realize this is actually stupid, right?
Yeah, I don't think they do. I mean, they might.
I mean,
it might just be a matter of just gaslighting, right? Because, I mean, they did the same thing to Martin Luther King back in the day, saying, oh, Martin Luther King is inciting violence.
Right, but I mean, but for them to actually make the argument, that this is it's the anti-cop sentiment that is causing this, you do realize that there's been anti-cop sentiment for decades. Yeah. But it's now when people are saying, stop killing us, we're dying in the streets. Now it's our fault every time a cop gets shot.
Yeah.
But before, it wasn't our fault then. Then when a cop got shot, it was just unfortunate. Even though the same sentiments have been within the black community for generations. So I guess that didn't count, right? You're like, well, us stressing about like dying in the street by cops, like that was nah. Yeah. Who cares about that? But now, because you get to shut down this organization that is actively making points and actively moving the conversation, actively making motherfuckers like y'all deal with the fact that we're dying in the streets. Because of that, clearly, they're a hate group. Yeah. How else could they? I mean, duh. I mean, what else could you call people who are in the street and they will not take no for an answer that their lives matter? What else could they be?
Terrorists, obviously.
A terrorist or hate group. The hell is wrong with you people? I swear, this is, you know, Black Lives Matter doesn't have to really do anything to cause negative anti-white sentiment. You just got to cut on Fox News.
Yeah.
Then what? Yeah. How you gonna explain that? You just let it play.
Well, I mean, the whole notion that Black Lives Matter is anti-police is just nonsense, because the point of Black Lives Matter is that the racism and the police violence is a structural issue. So it's not down to any individual cop. And the large majority of people, well, certainly the organization itself is not anti-police, certainly not anti-individual police. It's anti-police brutality, anti-structural racism and bias that causes this police brutality. But the idea that shooting individual cops or killing individual cops is going to solve the problem that Black Lives Matter is trying to solve is ludicrous. It just doesn't even make any sense.
Not even a little bit.
So, and there's no, I mean, the sheriff who is investigating this case, this shooting of this guy, has said that there is no evidence that Black Lives Matter had anything to do with it. But that has not stopped CNN, Fox News, and other media outlets from reporting that as fact. Because, you know, our mainstream media is really good at its job. Really, really just spectacular work, guys.
Aaron, you explain this because I can't.
Oh, I can say that white America doesn't really like black folks. So this is just like the tactics evolve and go and escalate, and that's pretty much it. I wish I could say more, but that's it. Their excuses and the straw man arguments and so on and so forth. Like, what does this even have to do with it? It's literally black people are like, please don't kill us. And then something happens like, ha, you peaceful protesters put this guy up to killing this other guy with your honest words and feelings about your lives. You see? That's pretty insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, they like I said, they don't like us all that much. A lot. Because we're learning more and more each day. Every weekend passes by, we learn a little bit more about how America feels about black people.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just white folks. Nikki Haley, Governor Nikki Haley, who is not a white person, gave a speech at the National Press Club.
Imani, before you get to that particular thing, because I want people. I realize when we say stuff like this, I feel like a lot of times people think we're making it up. You know what I mean? Like people can't because do you hear what even what you're saying? It doesn't sound wacky to you that people would say such a thing like that. Like that doesn't sound like a reasonable thing to say, right? Like to label like groups, organizers that who are trying to live that they're a terrorist organization. That doesn't seem or hate groups. That doesn't seem reasonable, right? And even as we say, Fox News said this. Like I will admit, sometimes in my mind I'm like, but I mean, they couldn't have actually said that. Right?
But you have to understand what we're dealing with. Like, for example, Blog Diva, she at Blog Diva on Twitter, Liz Sabater, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but she pointed out that back in March, James O'Keefe, who of Project Veritas, he's the guy who goes around dressing up like pimps and other assorted costumes, trying to play gotcha politics. He did this with Acorn. Essentially, there was a story in the New York Post, I believe, back from March, which discussed the fact that he had hired a couple of people to essentially go and infiltrate Black Lives Matter rallies and try to get Black people to express anti-cop sentiment. And one of these guys was Muslim, another guy was Hispanic, and both of them, I believe, quit or he fired them when they refused to go into crowds. He wanted them to go into crowds and say stuff like, "Yeah, man, wouldn't it be great if we could kill some cops?" in order to get Black people to agree and then report that Black people were trying to kill cops.
Which, by the way, just as a FYI for that, getting people to say something negative in a crowd when they're dying in the street, it's kind of a douchebag move because so people so let's say people are angry. So people they feel as if that the cops are actively killing us and that there's a war against Black people in the street, right? And then you go into someone who is clearly upset and hurt and bothered. You don't know if that person lost someone to police violence or what. And you go, man, we should really hurt some cops. And then you might get them to say, yeah, fuck these cops. And then you're like, see, this is what's up. That doesn't even make sense. And idea that Black Lives Matter is a hate group because people are what?
Texas Deputy Darren
Hold on, look at this.
Executed in Texas. So what's going on in our country? Joining us right now to react is the executive director of Black Sphere, Kevin Jackson. Kevin, your reaction to Friday's events followed by Saturday's events.
Well, the Friday events were tragic and certainly a stain on the nation. Saturday is pretty much par for the course these days, Brian. If you recall, they had the same chant a while back when another officer was killed. And then of course we've had the all
right, let's for a moment acknowledge the chant that people love to grab chants or whatever, and I think the chant, this one was the fried bacon pigs
in a blanket
whatever, which I love that people are trying to say that that's which you're demanding that they get executed because pigs in a blanket cook them or something like that or whatever like that. That's not even how that works immediately. That's not how that metaphor goes. I mean, that you're going to kill them because normally if pigs were in a blanket, they were probably already dead. Not to be funny, I've never saw a live pig be put in a blanket and then say, we should fry this.
Does
that make any sense? Just logically speaking, that's illogical. But let him cook.
Camera and they filmed him. So it's the unfortunate thing is this is the Black Lives Matter movement, which can only be described as nonsense, is creating a lot of this type of thing around the country.
Sure.
And it's going to backfire.
And by the way, let's also have the moment where this they can only be labeled as nonsense or something like that. It's really what?
Yeah.
By who? And by the way, they get a black guy to say this.
Of course, they have to get a black guy to say this.
Because when you have a white person say it, everyone just literally goes I don't think it's a black guy. So then all the other white people on the table, they can go he said it first, so is he racist? And if you call him racist, then that's how we know we can ignore you. Mm-hmm. But let's Elizabeth Hasselbeck has words, Amani.
I don't want to hear them.
Why has the Black Lives Matter movement not been classified yet as a hate group? I mean, how much more has to go in this direction before someone actually labels it as such?
Well, they should do it, but unfortunately, it's being financed by the leftists And ironically, it's people that have nothing, really no concern at all about Black lives. People like George Soros, and of course, it's a trickle-down theory on the left with this.
What does that even mean?
Hear how much they don't want to listen to us.
The impact that it's going to have in the Black community. And the fact,
Aaron, I can't explain it. I can't explain this. Like clearly, it cannot be that people are upset. And I love this idea that like the Soros money, like that is, it's literally been proven wrong. It's like that when they were pointing out where money went to, which by the way, it's not Soros going around like saying like, hey, like just making it rain on organizations. That's not how that works. It's a foundation. There are grants. People do shit or whatever. And then most of the money they were talking about was anybody who touched a story on Black Lives Matter. Had we gotten a check, let's say we got a check for $50,000. You guys know, we like the fact is that I have not organized, I'm not like running these groups or whatever, but had we gotten a check for $50,000, that $50,000 would have counted towards Black Lives Matter funding, according to that particular, the bombshell that they keep all using, talking about how Soros is funded. It's like, what? So, Black Lives Matter, the organization, the local chapters, gets not an ounce of that money, but I get it, and I talk about them, then clearly that's how they're getting funded. Amani, explain the bullshit.
They are so intent on not dealing with the structural racism and the police brutality in this country. They are very uncomfortable by the fact that Black people are organizing and showing up in large numbers in public places to protest the brutality that the police are meeting out in our communities. And so they have to, in order to make themselves feel better, I believe, they have to just assume that all these rowdy Black people just want to kill white people or want to kill cops. It can't possibly be that they have a legitimate concern about police brutality in the community. It's got to be some sort of nefarious purpose. It's willful ignorance is what it is.
Motherfuckers wrote 2 episodes of House of Cards rather than listen to... They're funded by Soros and they're acting in obviously a plan that Hillary can become. I was like, what the fuck TV show is this? We just don't want to get shot in the street.
House of Cards episode.
Soros funded as a tool to get Frank Underwood a second term by using the Black vote and mobilizing Black women. He finds out he discovers this in episode 3 and then he moves on in episode 6 and
I'm sorry, Aaron, now you can lay out your theory, because you have to have the proper music for it.
Oh, it's clearly obvious that Frank Underwood, trying to be elected for a second term, is trying to manipulate just literally analytics. So Black women control the vote. So by catering to them and allowing them to speak freely, he mobilizes them against his conservative candidate, who is whomever the fuck. Yeah, it allows him to gain a nice groundswell of the Black vote, ensuring him a second term by episode 13. How many episodes is it? 13?
I don't know. It's been a lot of episodes. Imani, are you on board with the House of Cards theory?
Good plan, President Underwood. Great plan.
I'm generally on board with anything that Aaron says. I think his theories tend to be colorful, at a minimum. And I'm in favor of them.
I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna go along with the House of Cards theory. I think it's hilarious.
Making it up. It's not me. I don't like getting shot, so I agree with the Black people on the stage talking about it. But if you don't want to hear it, you got to make stuff up. But they're making up some really wacky stuff.
I mean, I think a lot of it is just fear and nerves. You know, they'd expected that this movement was going to die down by like, I don't know, September of last year. And now it's all gone on for over a year. It shows no sign of stopping. You know, presidential candidates have been required to address Black Lives Matter issues, even, you know, so much so that there was even a question at the Republican debate about it. I mean, it's kind of heavy for these white folks. You know, they want to go back to the days when Black people were just like, they just sucked it up. They were poor. They were Black. They didn't care. It was fine. We shot a bunch of them, but they were just, you know, they learned to live with it. Well, now that we've decided we're not going to live with it anymore, they're getting a little bit nervous. And add on top of that, the fact that white demographics are shrinking, especially the conservative party is dying out because most of the Fox News watchers are old as fuck. Sorry, that was 4.
You didn't
you know, someone donate me one. Yeah, I think it's fear and frankly, just stupidity, as you said. A lot of it is flat out stupidity. And I also think that there's a concerted effort to sort of express these memes, these sentiments all at once, right? So you've got all of these people. You got Nikki Haley at the press club. You've got Elizabeth Hasselbeck and Bill O'Reilly and this Kevin Jackson person, and then Jesse Peterson, who's a black Tea Partier who years ago tried to form a Tea Party chapter in South Central, which I found hilarious. It's just, they're nervous. They don't like the fact that they are losing power. They don't have they're unable to control this movement.
It's fun. You know what, Amani? You know what I really think about this? You know, sometimes when we're covering stories and people are saying really froggy shit about women and about when women talk about like what's happened to them, and they're like, and people just call out bullshit and they always blame women for anything that happens to them. The similarities in race and gender is so strong because I feel like I almost have the same arguments on both sides where people just decide that clearly people are lying. Clearly it's some malicious idea why they're saying this. And as opposed to just believing women and as opposed to just believing black people and actually, I don't know, looking at the statistics that back up what they're saying, they always want to come up with something as opposed to now, even if I didn't believe black people, I'd be like, man, a lot of y'all seem very upset, and it seems to be across the board, and it seems to be across class. Like you guys really, you believe this is happening? Maybe we need to just look at it? Like, I don't know. It just seems like something we should just look into. But like, dudes won't listen to women. White folks won't listen to black people. And then you always find people within that group. Like you will find some women that will talk some bullshit, and you'll find some black folks who will talk some bullshit. And then they're used as shields against any other critique from anyone else, as opposed to just acknowledging that they're not making shit up. And this is why I'm so annoyed with black dudes. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all now, because we see this happening with white folks all the time when it comes to black issues and about police brutality and the issues that are within our community. And we are so pissed about it. Yet we will sit there quietly when the same shit happens to women.
Yeah.
How is this possible? How can we genuinely sit here and think that shit's cool? Like we're watching this go. We're watching them say this stuff, and we're all here clearly going like, man, that is madness. Like, how could you say such a thing? That is so clearly mad. You are so ignoring the facts around this issue, and you're ignoring the people that are dying in the street. And then some of these same dudes will then be like, I don't know about what that lady was saying. Like, I mean, we really got to go to the court of we got to go to court because you can't just be saying this type of stuff. You know, Aaron? We can't be just saying this type of stuff.
It's gaslighting. That's what it is. It's gaslighting.
And but it happens so clearly. So that's the thing. I feel like women that should have no better friend than black dudes. No better friend. Black dudes should be, every time women say, but we should be like, they right. Word, you should be listening to them. They right, though.
Patriarchy is a hell of a drug.
I'm sorry. It just, it bugs me because it's like, if it's so clear here, how is it not clear here? You know what I mean? Like it's only clear when it's my own oppression. Your oppression, not so special.
Yeah, I mean, there are black men who think that patriarchy does not exist in the black community. But they'll be the first ones to complain about police brutality and racism. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
I'm gonna set things on fire, Monty.
I'm with you. Let's do it.
All right. Why don't we do? Why don't we drop one more story before we go through all of this? Before I set everything on fire, please.
I mean, Nikki Haley.
Oh, all right. Yep. Read it out. I know you wanted to lay some stuff out with her. Go for it.
Yeah. So she's basically, she's riding high off of the removal of the Confederate flag. So she's feeling pretty saucy, feeling pretty good about herself. So she goes to the National Press Club and gives a speech in which she criticizes the Black Lives Matter movement. And she actually said that the Black Lives Matter movement is responsible for all of the unrest in Ferguson and Baltimore, the violence, the burning down of the CVS and the whatnot. And then she says that the Black Lives Matter movement, which is protesting police misconduct, is actually imperiling Black lives and property. It's not the police reaction to largely peaceful demonstrations that are imperiling Black lives and property. It's the actual Black people themselves in their own communities that are protesting the police brutality in their own community. And so then she goes on to say that if Black Lives Matter movement does not denounce every instance of violence within the movement, every time a rioter goes out of pocket, or every time a CVS is burnt down or a brick hits a car, then all of the violence that occurs is responsible or tied to Black Lives Matter. And then she says, quote, most of the people who now live in terror because local police are too intimidated to do their jobs are Black. Then she went on to say, Black lives do matter, and they have been disgracefully jeopardized by the movement that has laid waste to Ferguson and Baltimore. And then she tried to contrast Ferguson and Baltimore to the quote unquote reconciliation that took place in South Carolina after Walter Scott was shot. Now mind you, we had the video of Walter Scott basically running and the cop running after him and shooting him. Like, there was crystal clear, and he was immediately charged with murder. In Ferguson and Baltimore, they let Mike Brown's body lay in the ground for 4 hours. In Baltimore, they were trying to convince us that Freddy Gray tried to commit suicide in a police van. So there's a reason why there are protests in response to some deaths by the hands of police and not others. Walter Scott, the thing that people don't understand is that what we are asking for is not, I mean, we would like to see police held accountable ultimately after trial and the process works, but what we are asking for initially is for that process to begin, is for charges to be filed, for an investigation to occur. In the Walter Scott's case, everything that we wanted to happen happened. The cop was arrested. He was charged with murder. He was fired. And Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, those things did not happen. So it's just it's a false equivalency.
Amani, you do this thing sometimes, Amani, and it's adorable, really, where you are seeking the usage of, what's the term, facts and logic to things. And I don't understand why you think that's a reasonable thing to do. Yeah. No one else believes that to be reasonable. And you're just wasting our time, really, when you're sitting going like, oh, look at me, I'm looking for facts and shit. And let's use logic and stuff like that. No one cares about your logics and facts. Yeah. And Nikki Haley.
Just shut up. And then she also tried to bring in the Charleston massacre, saying, look at how our community came together after the Charleston massacre, when the Charleston massacre had nothing to do with police brutality. So why are you comparing apples and fucking kiwi fruit?
Because kiwi is delicious.
It is delicious. It's true.
Aaron, what do you think about when you have kiwi in your mouth?
Who's kiwi?
Hey! Hey!
And the show, Elon, we're done. Shut up.
Hey, we are goddamn news professionals.
Are we?
Are. Yes. And isn't it amazing how we can be so much better than the actual news stations while making a joke about kiwi in your mouth? Mm-hmm. How versatile are we? And the show, just shut it down. We're done. We're back and we're done.
We are very versatile.
We're back and we're done.
Well, apparently Aaron said we're back and we're done.